That's where we parked last night. Probably the wettest, windiest park up of this trip so far. It's now just gone 12 o'clock and the rain's finally stopped long enough for us to come down here and have a good look at this bay. And I think, judging by what we've just been reading on that board, it was worthwhile waiting before we move round to the ferry terminal. We just saw some deer. There's some little white dots up there at the moment where the sheep are, but there are some deer to the left of them, but won't come out very well on this video. But it's ever so warm, you know, it's about 20 degrees, despite the fact it's blowing a gale and has been chucking it down with rain. The entrance building's over there, there's a cairn in those trees. There's some old houses over there. Go back up to that no overnight. So that's very antisocial, isn't it?
Right, yeah, if you want to use me to catch a ferry, that's not helpful. You have arrived.
Passenger numbers are restricted in all sailings. Loch Mudle, 6:30 Monday morning, bright and early, off to go and get the ferry to Mull. So this is where we parked up for the night, alongside Loch Mudle. And despite the wind, we were in a sheltered spot, and it was great. Let's see it. Stay. Sit. That may have got that one. Hey! First wild one, proper wild one we've seen.
Well done.
Oh, I hope that caught that. Right, I think sometimes this doesn't turn back on again. So I think when we stopped at that first stop, so that angly bit, and I tried to get a bit of TV and couldn't, and then we left, I don't think it turned back on again. That's why half an hour later, all we've got is me reversing in that place where we spent the night before. Oh, crikey. I didn't even see that until almost too late. Oh, I overhauled that one as well. Yeah, there, quite. Yeah, I'm going to slow down a bit. That's weird then. So they're on this side and the sheep.
This little one.
Hello, dears.
Oh dear.
Brilliant. We've seen 4. That's all on that spot. So they're inside this catch fence then,
Yeah.
and the sheep are on the other one. So they're segregated almost. Oh, brilliant. Oh. The Ardlanish Mull over there. Whoops, keep it level. There's the Ardlanish Mull over there. We're heading, and this is the ferry terminal at Kilchoan, or however you pronounce it. We weren't first. There's one other camper there. Had to get on the roof to take some twigs off, which we picked up a couple of days ago. Right over there is a castle. We're not allowed off the ferry, so the only view we got is through that little gate there. Just saw the lighthouse. And the floor on the ferry has got yellow markings, which I thought were for lane segregation, but there's no way you get 3 rows of traffic on this little boat, that's for sure. There's maybe 10 vehicles on here at the most. And there's probably room for about 1 more. We're just coming into Tobermory now, I think. There's the lifeboat. Just go. Motorhome hire. No damage on it yet. Right, so go up the road now to the that belt is very slippery.
It's dustbin day.
Right, well I'm going to stay here then.
Second time we get dustbin day. Way back climbing, really, wasn't it?
Well,
Stuff been made unnecessary.
this guy, you know, they should have stopped. They could see there was a vehicle coming. Well, he hasn't got room to let the vehicle out because he can't go back any further. and it doesn't add a reverse. Navigate, if you go in it, but it doesn't know how to drive this vehicle. So we want to go over to there. That car park is if it's got any spaces.
It's not 9 o'clock yet, so nothing's open.
This guy has no idea how to reverse this at all. He has absolutely no idea how to drive that. There's a rainbow there, look. We've just left it in a silly place now, and that lorry...
Well, he's worried about going into the side view.
Well, he should have...
I know. I don't know what...
He should have just reversed properly.
Just watch him.
You still haven't, but you still can't reverse it properly.
Don't go forward. Drive into the lane.
Bally what? Ballymory? I know this is boring and everyone takes a picture from the same place. It ain't raining, it's bright and cheerful. And Woz has landed. And the sun's out and we're happy bunnies. There's steam coming off of that water there. I wonder what that's for.
Volcano.
Or it could be a volcano, so Scarron. But look at that stream there. A slightly different view of Tobermory. But there's a fair bit of water coming down that hill. So, that stream that's a fair bit of rainwater coming down there. Just past those two yachts is a waterfall. Bit wobbly with the old phone. This is the boat we arrived on. It only does 3 trips a day over there where we came from. So this queue of traffic here have got a fair old weight. That's probably more than it can carry, or just about as many vehicles as it can carry. Another water outlet there. Lifeboat. Very clear water. And no sills. And that's where we spent the night. Not last night, the night before. Pretty much just about over there. And then the last night up on that hill. Oh, bit of flare. It's a very, very pretty little town, this Tobermory. Very pretty indeed. Karen likes it. And there's lots of things to spend money. There's a rainbow. We're standing in an area of blue sky. We seem to be surrounded by cloud, and it certainly seems to be sort of raining over there. That is an immaculate little garden. Really pretty, with an absolutely fantastic view. That's very nice. Well, so far so good. We've been here for a couple of hours, just shopping, and so far it still hasn't rained and everything's wonderful. But just look at the contrast of the cloud. That's been sitting like that pretty much all morning, that slither of blue sky. Considering how windy it was yesterday, it's odd that this stuff hasn't moved away. There's a rainbow over the top of Tobermory. We just had a wander up there and looked at all the, there's lots and lots and lots of terrace gardens in front of the houses between the church along there, and a couple of them are really gorgeous. Pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very pretty. Now we've got to repeat the thing going up now, down now. We've gone over the top of some steep hill. Little cairn there. There's a big space. Ah. There are lots of space of it, pretty much land. That's Dervaig, there's that weird church. Oh, I think we should stop up there and have a look. Churchyard there, look. Shall we turn around and go back up?
Should try. Don't forget the entrance there, it's very potty, very hot hole. You're gonna...
It's quite a long drive. It's nearly 50 miles to get down to, well, it's 50 miles from Tobermory to get down to the Weavers campsite, which we're going to stay at tomorrow and Wednesday. So I think I'm going to cut my losses and stay here tonight. It's a bit breezy, but it's a lovely viewpoint. In fact, just lovely. Absolutely lovely. And the most amazing thing of all is the 4G signal is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I've just done a speed test. 80 megabyte download I was getting just now. That's probably because the masts are right behind me. But look at that. What a fantastic view. One of several we've had over the past week or two. Sam. 2 standing stones, a yellow van, and a hill that had an eagle on it. You wouldn't know what to do with an eagle, would you, Sam? If this was Wales, you might think some giant dragons have been stomping about, kicking things over, huffing and puffing and burning all the green off these trees. But up here in Mull, perhaps they've just got giant beavers or particularly angry reindeer that headbutt stuff. Or maybe the weather's not as kind as it is today. So that's the church spire at Dervaig. I'll just zoom out. So you can see it in its surroundings. Now zoom back in again. It's got some zoom, this little... I'm amazed at this little camera. Oh. This is Calgary Bay. You'll notice we've managed to obtain some sunshine. White sands, lots of seaweed, white sands, blue sea. And the car park, when we got here, was completely full up with cars. We were without a camper van. I really expected this to be full of camper vans. 10 o'clock this morning, but no. Loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of cars. That's a bit unusual, seeing as this is a honeypot parking space. Honeypot parking space for overnight stops. We've just had a cracking walk around. It's very warm today. We just paused for a while, and in that little bay down there, not sure how visible it is on this camera, but there's an orange buoy on the rocks. I've just seen my second, and maybe even my third white-tailed sea eagle flying around there. Karen's currently scouring the landscape with the binoculars. But it seemed to go actually into the side of the cliff and land, and then I lost sight of it. But just look at that for scenery. Staggering. There's even a footpath up that one, huh?
I think it's like take the picture because it's good.
Look at that.
The thing is, you need a panoramic camera.
This is taking a fairly wide angle.
Yeah, I know, but my camera, it's square, so it's lots of sky, lots of sea, and a little bit in the middle.
That was a good little camera in today. That's the sort of thing I want there, you know, compact that can do all sorts of things, but has a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connection so you can do things with pictures as well. Another flat bit of the ground. Well, hello, that's a big, wide, fat
That's a wide load.
boo cow.
Hang on, this one's popping up. Probably it's Mull.
Look at the size of the width of that poo cow. 2 poo cows. No, not this time of year. It's probably for the milk. Can't know. They might be expecting, but I wouldn't have thought for this time of year. Now, are you going to get out of the way? You don't even care, do you? You silly poo cow. Stop bashing my bed with your tail. They are big, aren't they? Seriously? That is a bit stupid. That really is irresponsible, isn't it? Now, I bet this stuff comes down on people. Huge poo cows. This is quite a green scenery. Look at that. That sheer cliff. Crikey. You'd know if that came down on top of you, wouldn't you?
No, you do. Straight away.
Geology's changed a bit, I reckon. The rocks are more sheer, aren't they? You look at the... You've got less of that gravelly stuff. Sea view, that's very Margate, isn't it? Sea view. Look at that crack with that water coming down there. Look at that. That would be nice to clamber up. Look at that. But you'd think, where's the water coming from? There's just a little tiny bit of rock there, isn't it? There it is coming down there, look. Now, this is probably the place you're going to see the eagles. Look at that one up there, the waterfall. See it?
Yeah, the eagle, that's lovely.
And a waterfall.
And a waterfall.
I didn't see the eagle, I thought so.
Up there, actually. Two birds up there, so they are around the front.
One flat up there, look. There, see it?
Yeah.
You can tell by the wing flap, can't you? The big wings.
Two up there.
So maybe we need to find a park up and see what we can watch. Because we're not going to actually get a reasonable look at one.
My sheep.
That waterfall up there. It's suddenly got a bit spectacular, hasn't it? Yeah, nice. So what's that going through there? Right, look at it. The thing has changed, isn't it?
Yeah.
The geology's changed. Bloody hell, look at that there. It's all...
All the way.
remnants of buildings down there. Can we stop in there? See. This is the beach that's accessible from the Ardlanish weavers' field. It begins with U, can't think of how it's pronounced right now. But there we are, parked in their field, and the weavers' business is up there in those buildings. We've got some Highland cattle there. There's just 2, 3, 4, 8 vans here today. The sun's just disappeared behind the clouds, but when we got here for a good hour or two, it was blue skies and absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely fantastic. And we sat out by the side of the van for the afternoon. But tenner a night, no facilities, although I did blag a bit of dodgy water that we can use for washing up and stuff. I don't think we'll drink it though. But I have the beach, there's some lads over there on some rocks, but otherwise we've got the beach pretty much to ourselves.